Hmm. Hello, everyone. Breathe in. You're alive. How is everyone? Put it in the chat how you're feeling. Welcome to Taurus season. For those who don't know, my name is Amelia, and I am honored to be one of your co hosts today, holding such sacred, special space for ushering in this season of miracles, this Taurus season where magic becomes real, it becomes tangible. And let's just take a minute to breathe together, to harmonize our energies. John says, feeling amazing. I'm here for it. I hope that you are all feeling, yes, feeling light, overjoyed. So great. Awesome. Wonderful. And no matter how you're feeling, I welcome you here to this Taurus season, to this age of miracles that we're ushering in here. So, the theme of the month for Spirit Mysteries is miracles, which I'm sure you've seen. And Taurus actually, as an energy, has a lot to do with miracles. Like I just said, it's bringing magic to the physical realm. So as we harmonize our energies here in this space, this digital divine temple, I also invite you to, as you're listening today, to tap into your body and like give yourself a little self hug, a little squeeze, a little finger flutters if you're into that, like I am. Activate your body as your body of consciousness is being activated. And let's dive in to a little bit about Taurus and the energy behind this season of the bull. This is the observed Taurus season, and I just love this painting here. It's absolutely immaculate. Like, put it in the chat if you resonate with this the way I do. This is a divine feminine sign, generally speaking, earth energy, feminine energy. And she's ruled by Venus, which is the planet in astrology of the divine feminine, the goddess, as well as relationships and personal values. So these are some themes and dynamics that this divine feminine placement shares with us, this earth sign. Aesthetic pleasure, so meaning, the senses, the five senses, and also the aesthetics of things, the way that things look, beauty. In fact, I could have just said beauty. It would probably be a less wordy way of describing this, but that is one of the principles of Venus and Taurus, is creating things that are pleasing to the eye and pleasing to the soul. And in a way, we're creating visual beauty as a demonstration of soul level beauty. That's really like the beneath the surface level of Taurus here. And then we have sensual healing, which, as I was saying when recommending giving yourself a little love squeeze, is just activating your five senses, not taking them for granted, being fully in the present moment and finding healing within that simple mindfulness, the simple awareness that, hey, currently I am in a body. I am in a matrix of sorts. I'm in a vessel, a crystal. This is Earth, and we're here to be made manifest. Empress energy, Chris says. Yes, this is the Empress energy for sure. So it's full embodied presence. This is what the divine feminine brings to us, is just full embodiment and really bringing in that magic into sacred space. And something that I have been learning so much lately is about how to really hold space. And to do so, you have to be comfortable with taking up space yourself. I know many of us are used to shrinking ourselves or apologizing for taking up space, for just existing, especially if you're a highly sensitive person. And I just want to remind you that it's okay to take up space. In fact, it is your birthright, and it is what is going to help you manifest and help others manifest and create a ripple effect of miracles in your life, is just by acknowledging that you take up space, letting yourself take up space, and then holding that space with other people and letting that space be held. So now we can move into the next little portal here. And there's just some more little notes that I would like to touch on with you about Taurus energy. There is an all or nothing energy to this. Taurus is very much, as one of the earth signs, there's a level of commitment to it. There is this level of being all in or absolutely out. And so you have this decision with this fixed sign energy to just be clear with your decisions, clear with your boundaries. As you're creating your sacred geometry, as you're creating structures and systems in your life that can help to benefit you and make things easier for yourself, you get to decide what you put all your energy into and what you take your energy out of. And in this way, that relates to the Venus energy of relationships. There's sort of a back and forth here, an equal energy exchange, which I encourage you to explore. And I love this painting as well. It's absolutely divine and is very synchronous with what we're going to be getting into today. So yeah, again, physical manifestation, taking up space, letting yourself be present and full, and knowing that because you are here, that means that there is a purpose behind it. There is a divine design to this, even when it doesn't feel like it. No, Jordan did not make this, but he could make a rendition of it. Do it with like a patch on the top and the third eye there. And interestingly, so this is kind of a side note, but I feel called to share this because spirits just sort of like do it. Bulls, like the animal, the bulls, have poor depth perception. That's why bullfighting is the way it is, and I won't get into that whole thing, but there's a lack of depth perception there. But it's interesting because again, that relates back to being here now. The bull teaches you to be fully present with what's right in front of you. And oftentimes, especially in the Western world, we're constantly like, what's next, what's ahead, or what's behind me, and we're not looking at what's just right in front of us. And so Taurus, even with this lack of depth perception, if you will, I love that the third eye of the Taurus is pictured here, because she's perceiving what's right in front of her and seeing through the illusion of attachment or neediness or anything like that. She's seeing the space that's being held with relationship with not just other people, but the relationship with the things. Your computer, for example, or your phone or your screen or your body. You know, this is the tangible Taurus realm that we're working with, really grounding in some very up here spiritual things on a very physical experiential level. And I included these it's actually a little low-key reference from Moulin Rouge, so put it in the chat if you love that movie as much as I do. But these are just some of the values that I work with in my life, in my personal practice. And part of Taurus is recognizing your personal values: truth, beauty, freedom, love. These are very Taurian things, very much just, again, spirit being expressed fully and authentically in the physical realm by enjoying the physical realm and playing with it as a child. The world is your playground, my loves. So, with all of this energy moving through us and all these topics that we're chewing on, I believe the next slide. Yes, it is the age of homegrown miracles. And this probably means something different to everyone, but homegrown, we especially chose this word because we want to hone in on miracles that you are growing in your life. Your life is a garden of miracles. You are creating magic made manifest in everything that you do, everything that you are, and with every little seed you plant, right? Like some plants grow faster than others. Some miracles are instantaneous. Some are surprises. There's all kinds of different flowers and plants and produce even that grows in your garden, in this beautiful space that you're making, this Taurian space that you're holding for yourself and for others. And it's homegrown, it's organic. So let's make some organic miracles today, my loves. And so what is a miracle? Put it in the chat and I'll read out your lovely responses, because I always love hearing from you guys. What to you is a miracle? Because this is kind of a general word, isn't it? Such good vibes in the chat today. A shift in perception. I love that. A wish. Ah, yes, a wish. Being alive, Jasmine says. Yes, sister. Being alive is a miracle. I am a miracle made up of particles, Garth says. Is that a song lyric? Because that's fire. A blessing. Realizing a great truth in your darkest hour. Ooh, that's powerful. I like that you hold these things in tandem, right? Your darkest hour and a great truth can be in the same boat. A financial miracle, Christy says. I love that. Congratulations. A blessing, life, being able to know thyself. Right on target, Sean. Being blessed. Something that happens unexpectedly, mainly a good thing. That is very close, I believe, to the actual definition. I love that. A request, Jim says. A Course in Miracles. Yes, I've heard of A Course in Miracles. I was actually planning on taking it soon. Oh, it is Nako lyrics. Okay. I thought it sounded familiar. A gift, nature, beauty. When an addict decided to quit, as an example, Hayden says, yes, that is a miracle. A healed relationship is a miracle. A quest, anything that can help you grow and become better and more whole. An event we manifest that seems beyond our ability to create in the physical realm. Yes. Me, Ray says, yes, you are a miracle. Being here, this moment. The song The Miracle by Queen has many examples. Every drop of rain that falls, the Sahara Desert says it all. That's a miracle. Oh, I forgot about that song. Yes. Manifestation, moving from spirit into physical existence. Brittany gets it. I believe you're a Taurus, so that makes sense. Oh my goodness, so many. A good surprise, something life-changing, being now in the now. The impossible made possible. Wow. I love you guys. We always write like pure poetry in the chat. It's just an absolute blessing. Something that happens against all odds given the situation and circumstances. Rediscovery. Being here in the same time and space in all the infinite. Yes, so all of this and more. Let's just hold space for a moment for like all of these beautiful things flooding into the chat, and please continue to share your perspective on what a miracle is. It's actually because as you're creating your definition of a miracle, you are also creating miracles. Complete faith, knowledge of our complete, dimension crossing, time bridging, enveloping connections to all, this moment. All of the above. Aho, and so it is. And so as we continue to flow with this energy, I'd love to invite my lovely co-host Jordan to hop in and give us a miraculous download.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much. Yeah, just speaking to the space that is being created here is we're creating an energetic field where we're literally starting to manifest miracles just by putting our focus on it, right? Because what do they say? Where attention goes, energy flows. So by creating an entire season where we're just focused on miracles, which would have happened anyways, but calling it out, shining that light and tuning ourselves to being the crystal beings that we are, to be reflectors and creators and generators of miracles in and of itself is kind of miraculous. And I want to start here to take you guys into the etymology of a miracle. Now, everything that you guys put in the chat was absolutely perfect and correct. What you're bringing, your nature of a miracle, take that with you and take what everybody added to it. Anything that resonates of your idea of what a miracle is, like feel that in your heart as you breathe, and allow me to add just a little more to that equation, to that that inner cake that you're making, a miraculous inner consciousness chakra cake, I guess we can say, is the root of the word miracle comes from the mid-12th century, meaning a wondrous work of God, from mirari, yes, to wonder at, marvel, be astonished, figuratively, to regard or esteem. But what's very interesting here is that there's also a wonderful, astonishing, amazing earlier coming from Smyros, which actually meant to smile or laugh. And this is the source of the Sanskrit smera, smiling. And how delightful to consider, like the nature of a miracle can be so simple. Like we can have all of our elegant, beautiful understanding of it, and we can just reduce it to like, if you're smiling, if you're laughing, if you're having a joyous experience or a moment in time where you're wondering at and marveling or astonished by just the perfection of the moment, of the present moment, that in and of itself is a miracle. Is, you know, like we heard in the opening song, you know, breathe in, lean in, you're alive. And that is a miracle. Someone put that here in the chat too. Is bless. We are living miracles. And today we may associate the word miracle or what a miracle could be with synchronicity. Of course, this is more of a new age term, but it's starting to be used more commonly out in the world. And you will likely find still, even in that, the word miracle will probably have more of an energetic charge to it because people don't use the word miracles as much as they might use synchronicity for those who are accustomed to that language. You know, it's almost like there's three levels of consciousness associated to the same thing. For the lowest, densest consciousness, they would say it's a coincidence. And then for this sort of higher new age understanding, it's like, oh, there's synchronicities, like there's cosmic alignment that's happening. And now we have another level higher, which of course is available to everybody, but maybe not spoken about as much, which is miracle. So we're going to kind of align those all together now within us. And here's the question, but how do you align yourself to be a living miracle every single day? And it's really simple. There it is. The answer is love. And that's it. End of story. No, I'm kidding. I wanted to, it's like, that's the simple answer. And we can play in that and just breathe in some love for life, gratitude, and just love that we have for each other, for ourselves, for the world, for God. But of course, the human mind is a very complex and beautiful thing. And so it's often very valuable to have more elaborate answers. And so I want to share with you some wisdom from a legendary book called The Alchemist, just understanding alchemy from the alchemist himself, or well, the King of Salem in this case. But for those who haven't read this book, I just want to put it on your watch list or your listening list if you are into audiobooks. This book is absolutely incredible. I'm going through it now for the second time, and it is just so profound. It's like a short story. You could probably read it in maybe 4 or 5 hours. Absolutely incredible. Highly recommend, just in case you're looking for a new thing to read lately. The greatest lie ever told is that at some point in our lives, at a certain point, we lose control of what's happening to us, and our lives become controlled by fate. And that is the world's greatest lie. You always have creative power. And this was a sacred message from the King of Salem in Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. And another piece of wisdom that is discovered and discussed in this book is these two concepts, your personal legend and the soul of the world. Your personal legend is the thing you've always wanted to accomplish above all else, the thing that is your purpose in heart and soul, the thing that means the most to you. And I'll speak to this for just a moment too, is, you know, there's this concept that often gets thrown around, especially it's a very Eastern idea, Hinduism and Buddhism especially, you know, that when you reach the state of enlightenment, that all desire goes away. And in this state of enlightenment, you're just free of all things, all earthly desires, and you just sort of exist and you just sort of be. And certainly there's a validity to that. I'm not going to say that we shouldn't aim to transcend all of the earthly desires, but it's also believed by many traditions and practices that we come here for a reason, that we come here to fulfill some kind of purpose. You could say that for the Wright brothers, they came to bring the gift of flight using planes, like a technology, to the world. Like that was their personal legend that they had to fulfill, even when everybody around them, even after they flew for the first time, people wouldn't believe it. No, it couldn't possibly happen. Or you were in this one area where there's a windstorm and you got lucky. But even after they did it, it still took many years for them to be acknowledged for the work that they did. And that's just one example. We can think of all of Einstein with all of general relativity and all the equations that he did. That would be his personal legend, right? So think of for yourself, what is your personal legend? What is that thing that you've always wanted to accomplish above all else? Your purpose, heart, body, mind, soul. So we be present with this concept. Now we have the soul of the world, another concept, which is the principle that governs all things. When you want something with all your heart, that's when you're the closest to the soul of the world. And it's always a positive or good force. And so now we think of, so you've got your light, and then there's the sort of the flow, the principle, the structure, the order that moves heaven and earth, that moves all of creation. There's many, many words for it. You can call it Tao, or you can call it the source field, the flow of time and space, and the laws of creation. And so that's why I starred the word principle, because the Kabbalists, as well as Thoth in the Emerald Tablets and Hermetica, say that God is law, or the laws of creation. That, to really understand God, the essence of God is beyond true human comprehension, because it's infinitely, ever expandingly vast and potent. That there's always more to learn in the mysteries of creation, but that we can come to understand God to the extent that we're able to, by understanding that God is law, or the laws of creation, these foundational patterns or flows through which things are coming to be. We could think of the flower of life as a good example for this as well, that the structure of the flower of life is always the exact same, but the energy that's within each sphere can constantly change. So there's laws, there's fixedness to the fluidity, if you will. A bubble also would work as an example. A bubble floats through the air and it's fixed, and it stays the same until it pops, of course, but the air inside of it is moving and it's changing the shape, but it's still a perfect sphere, or a relatively perfect sphere. So what are the laws of creation? And I'm sharing this simply as this is what I received. And there are more laws. Of course, we've explored in a spirit science video, there's the 7 laws of creation as described by the Kabbalion, which we will also transform into more of a course at some point within Spirit Mysteries. But it was in a ceremony, most of you probably have heard this story, but in a ceremony at Rhythmia, I received this. This was the first time I connected with Thoth, and I received this vision that impressed upon my heart the fullness of this statement: truth is the law, love is the law, authenticity is the law. And that was cemented within me to such a degree that it became a part of me, that I just vowed in every fiber of my being to live under these laws: truth, love, and authenticity. That I will be truthful, loving, and authentic in every aspect of my life, for myself and for everybody. And here we have the Hierophant on this card as well, or on this card, on this slide, which teaches us to bring learning into the heart of our lives too, and then understand and embody the Trinity between Father, Mother, and Divine Child. So you'll see there's a book at the bottom of this card, at the bottom of this card, and it's got this sort of glowing, sacred, almost Atlantean-looking script. But the idea is that we, as humans, have collected so much wisdom over the past 13,000 years, and it's accelerating tremendously. For those who remember some of those original spirit science episodes, we talked about that, how much more we're learning today than we ever did before because of our technology and our advancement as a species. And then above it, you have the divine feminine, the divine child, and the divine masculine. And that we're called to understand the relationship that we have to these forces that are also within and alive within us. So we have our own connection to this, the Godhead, if you will. We are the feminine, in that the feminine is the body. And this starts to break into a lot of alchemy with the 4 elements, but the masculine forces of fire and air, speaking to spirit and mind, and the feminine forces of water and earth, emotions and body. So the feminine kind of holds the body and the blood, and it's all here together with us physically. And then our consciousness expands beyond that. But we are called to play as the inner child in the heart between the two, and to embody the divine child within us. This is why Jesus said, surely you must come as a child, or else you'll never get into the kingdom of heaven. Herodotus and many other ancient Greek philosophers said the exact same thing. And my experience recently was that it is so accurate. I'm called to not get into a lot of details here, but in a brief window of time where I worked with Jesus and connected with him and his spirit on such an intimate level, I truly came to know him as just the divine child, or at least like the childlike wonder in him was outstanding. I'll say it that way. And so here we bring us to the heart of this experience and this event today is this miraculous Merkaba and this experience that I had that I'm now sharing with you. Now, for those who are out of the loop here, we just published a video both on YouTube and in Spirit Mysteries, but I recommend watching the Spirit Mysteries one because it's a little bit longer, it has a little extra little things in it. This video explains what happened to me and how I created this Merkaba and what it means and how to use it a little bit and start to how to activate it. But I acknowledge and understand that there is a process here that we're going to go through of activating this Merkaba. And today on this event, you're going to get the download of how to do it in a more tangible way, an even more tangible way. And so these pictures will be made available. I just actually made these this morning, but for those of you who want to take a screenshot, you're welcome to, or I wouldn't worry about it too much of like writing every little thing down because it's a little complicated and you'll have the screenshots. So you can just look at it and sort of take it in, and that would probably be the best thing to do here. But this is the Egg of Life Merkaba that I created using a combination of the wisdom from Drunvalo's Flower of Life books, as well as a lot of other ancient Egyptian and Hermetic and Kabbalistic teachings and the tarot that all kind of became alive within me. And I built this structure. And we're going to do a simple version of this today because this might look a little complex or complicated, and it's okay if you're confused. But I will sort of draw the line for you so that you can kind of see the pathway through this. Is at the top, we have the masculine triangle and the principles of truth, love, authenticity, and then gratitude. And you can kind of follow the rainbow line. There's these arrows. So you see from the top, then you draw straight down to the love, and then over to authenticity, and then over to gratitude. And then that's the completion of the masculine triangle or tetrahedron. And the direction that spirit goes moves through a half step. And I'll maybe talk about those in a minute, but it changes direction and passes through the void space in the center of the being. So there's a call to faith. You have to have faith to pass through that void. And then you come out in the feminine tetrahedron in kindness. And then that moves to wisdom, peace, harmony. Kindness, peace, wisdom, harmony, in that order. At least that was the order that I created it within myself. And of course, the body itself, the physical body, was humility. Julius asks in the chat, what is the void space? That is the essence of spirit itself. That is the vacuum of spirit from which spirit comes and emerges to, from where spirit is looking out from, if you will. But as humans in a body, this is the creation of almost like a lens, a crystal that spirit can look through you, so that you become an energy generator. And you can see this unfolded. I thought this might be a little bit complicated, as I mentioned. So I did a version here on the side where it's just the 8 chakras up and down the body. So truth, love, authenticity, gratitude, faith, kindness, peace, wisdom, harmony, humility at the bottom. And this is the unfolded edition. The 8 chakras are all of them minus faith and humility, which are related to the void and the body. But I did say that. So this is a little bit of the big picture of kind of the whole thing. And this is what I want to teach in the long run. However, because of the time we have today and that we're just introducing this material and showing you how to live in this Merkabic field and create the field around you, and even turning it inside out, which is another story, but that was covered in the other video. We're not going to be doing this full spectrum thing today. What we're going to be doing is this one, which is very, very simple: truth, love, authenticity, peace, wisdom, and harmony. And we'll hold a space for learning at the heart, in the center of it all, because there's so much there for us to learn. So this is actually the meditation and the practice that we're going to be doing. And in order to do this right, you have to learn how to breathe. And so many of you are familiar with the breath of life, and many of you we've probably done calls as well to, if you've been on if you've had an initiation call with me, we probably looked at the breath of life and did the simple practice. However, there is a bit of a revised edition of this now that I'm called to share with you. And this isn't going to be the full version of the breathing as well, because this also can get very complicated and we flip it upside down and we're drawing in from the Godhead. If you are interested to learn that, you can watch the other video and watch the recording of last night's meditation event where we did the top-down version. But my guidance this morning told me this was the best one to share with the whole group because it's not so out there and complicated with visualization and stuff that what I received was it's probably just too much. It's like being under the full waterfall of spirit, and the body won't know entirely what to do with it because we're training the body how to hold more energy, how to hold more chi, if you will. And so step one, what we're going to be doing is breathing in energy through the galaxy to the top of the head. So you want to imagine that the galaxy is below your feet. And if you want to stand, you want to sit, it doesn't really matter. But there's a galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy that we're a part of is beneath your feet. And that at the center, that black hole at the center is like right, below your perineum, right below your root chakra, if you will, and shoots up through your spine and just, is filling you with light and filling you with cosmic energy. And so the first step is we're going to breathe for about 8 seconds and we're going to bring it up to the top of the head. And then once it reaches the top, we're just going to hold for 4 seconds. Then we will let go gently. You don't have to count for the letting go. This is all through the nose. As you are, if you feel compelled to play with the mouth, you can, but my recommendation, at least for now, is all through the nose. And then step 3 is you're just going to let it go gently and imagine that you're moving the breath as if from the top of the ankh and it's going down around your head, or you can go front and back, or you could even make it 3-dimensional. Doesn't really matter, but you're going to bring that down into your heart and just focus on it anchoring into your heart, but the energy also goes into your arms and down to the rest of your body and just fills you with light, with love, with truth, with authenticity. And so I'm going to leave this slide up here, and we're going to walk through the creation of this Merkaba together. And the way that it will go is that we'll say out loud 3 times, I am truth, I am truth, I am truth. And then we will breathe and do this breath 3 times. And then we'll do the same thing and we'll go through it with love, with authenticity, peace, wisdom, harmony, and learning. So this whole thing probably shouldn't take more than 10, maybe 15 minutes at most. And then this is a practice that you can take with you and use every single day if you want to. And I know that there's going to be some of you who really want to go the distance and do the full Merkaba, like do this full thing. So that's when this picture will become more valuable to you, is that you can start building this within yourself and moving it around you. Because what's happening is first we need to put it inside of ourselves. So we're kind of building this structure, this shape in our hearts. And then it's naturally going to sort of fill out in your energy field all around you. Just by being present to it and your intention to do this will make it so. We'll make it happen easily. Yeah. How does that sound? Let me just ask that. Put it in the chat. Is everybody ready to embark on this adventure? Let's go. We're probably going to want some background music for this, I imagine. So I'm going to find one. She ready. So heckin' ready. Oh, good. So there's another thing that's going to be really fun. I'm going to share this with you guys is when you're watching this or when you're doing the breath and doing this, you can close your eyes and just be in the fullness of the visualization. If you want a visual though, you're welcome to follow me, and I'm going to do a little bit of a dance along with this music, and I'll just we'll hold and we'll put it in the heart and we'll lift it up, because this is how spirit taught it to me. And it was like the seconds kind of melted away and became the beats of the music, and it was still 8, but we're transcending and stretching time a little bit. We don't have to be so rigid that 8 seconds is precisely 8 seconds. It's 8 beats, if you will, but the beat can be whatever you want, including seconds that you count. So I'm going to start a song, and let's begin. I'm going to have to turn on the, let's see here. Do that. Hello. I'm going to interrupt this video and say that the recording for the when we did this live it didn't turn out very well with the background music and the audio. Zoom had a weird thing. I wouldn't worry about it, but I'm going to guide you through this again right now with better audio. So let me make myself a little smaller here. Let's begin exactly the way that was described, but please take a moment to say out loud, I am truth, I am truth, I am truth. Good. Now we're gonna breathe in for about 8 seconds, so starting now. And hold. And around into the heart. You can feel that Ankh shape. Drawing in again. And hold. And let it go, weaving it into your heart and around. And one more time, breathing in. And hold. And let it go into your heart. Now you can say, I am love, I am love, I am love. And when you're ready, take a deep breath again and start drawing it up from the galaxy, feeling all the love of the galaxy, going all the way up and holding at the top and weaving it around like the Ankh shape through your heart and around to the arms, down to the rest of the body. And now breathing it in again. You can find your own rhythm, feeling the love, holding it at the top of the head and around, spiraling it around like that into your heart. And one more time, breathing in. Again, if you're not on the exact time with me, that's okay. If it just is the general flow here, do what feels good for you. Feeling at the top of your head and holding and letting it go into the heart and through. Now say, I am authenticity, I am authenticity, I am authenticity. Good. So we'll take a deep breath and draw the energy up. And hold. And let it go into the heart. Feeling that Ankh shape. Drawing it up again. And hold. And bringing it around into and through. And one final time, we're drawing all that energy up from the galaxy, bringing it up, and hold, and let it go. So now we're going to pass through the center. We're going to pass over learning this time. We're going to come back and do that one last. And I will say, following truth, love, authenticity, going through, I am peace, I am peace, I am peace. Good. Now we draw up. You're doing so great. Bringing in all that energy through your spine, through your chakra column, your energy tube, your prana breathing tube, and hold at the top of your head and spiral it around into the heart, through. Maybe feel it in your fingers because it's shooting out. And we breathe it in one more time, drawing it up. And holding at the top. And bringing it around, making that Ankh shape through your body. And one more time, feeling all of your inner peace within you and flowing around you. Just you're receiving cosmic peace. And you hold and bring it around into the heart. Now we'll move on to wisdom. I am wisdom, I am wisdom, I am wisdom. Good. All right, drawing it up. And holding, receiving the wisdom at the top of the head, all of the wisdom, and bringing it around into the heart and the heart Ankh. Drawing it up one more time. Did you know that the Ankh was the original cross? True story. And holding at the top and bringing it around into the heart, making that perfect unity in the center. And one more time, bringing all of the cosmic wisdom of the Great Mother, the galaxy herself, up into your body, up to the top of your head, holding for a moment, and letting it go all the way around and through. Now we have only two more. Now you'll say, I am harmony, I am harmony, I am harmony. And when you're ready, you can take a deep breath and draw up the spirit of all things harmonized with all things. Nice and slow and gentle. And bringing it up to the top of your head. And weaving it around into your heart. Drawing up once more. Nice and slow. That cosmic love, grace, goodness, source energy. And hold. And bring it around into the heart. And one more time, you can draw it up. Put a smile on your face. That's beautiful. It's a lovely smile you have. We're holding at the top for a moment and putting it into the heart. Very good. So now we only have one more to do. I am learning, I am learning, I am learning. When you're ready. We are all learning, aren't we? Okay, so we'll take first of 3 breaths and draw it up nice and slow. Feeling all that energy moving up your spine. Charging and holding at the top of your head. And bringing it down into the heart. Drawing up, round 2. Feeling the love and the gift of the divine goddess, Spirit herself. And hold. And release into the heart. And one final time, bringing it all in. Up to the top of your head and hold. Spirit of learning, knowledge and wisdom through experience combined, weaving it into your heart, and being an instrument of learning. Very good. This is a practice that you can take with you each and every day. And I encourage you to play with this each morning and use the breath to anchor into your heart the frequencies that you want most. I will now take you back to the original recording to complete this sacred event. Thank you. This is, again, as mentioned, the two-dimensional version of a much more elaborate Merkaba. But the seed is alive within you as you do this practice. And as you integrate and begin to, or continue to, embody the truth, love, authenticity, peace, wisdom, and harmony of your true nature, you naturally become a crystalline light of source, shining brighter than you ever had, and can bring this light to the whole world. And yes, that is coming to Erin. So I want to hear from you. What is a miracle that you've experienced? And put it in the chat. You can take a minute. Keep it simple a little bit if you can, because we could all tell giant stories, and there's a place for that, and that's in the Initiate Great Hall and in Spirit Mysteries as posts and articles. I would love to hear the more full stories, but just to honor the space that we have here with all of us, share some miracles in the chat, and I'll read them out here. I'm going to start with Hayden. I forgave my father, and now I am friends with him. That is a miracle. I feel present in the moment stage. Yes. Oh, and Amelia is going to create, that is a miracle too. Amelia is going to create a miracle topic in Spirit Mysteries so we can share all of our stories there. Thank you. Thank you. That is a miracle. A miracle is that oh, it's moving so fast. Hold on. A miracle is that I just parked, giving me the availability to type something finally. Well, I trust you were safe if you were breathing while driving. Feel refreshed, rejuvenated, and a sense of new energetics. Feeling the presence of angels. Perfect timing as always. Synchronicities are such blessings. Discovering the Ankh energy around my body and how the toroidal field operates. Yes, from doing this is a natural reaction. I've heard this from a number of people now, that by doing this breath, and then possibly the more elaborate version, which is explained in the other video that we just published, that you naturally start to feel the toroidal field on a much deeper level. On my walk yesterday, I saw a dragon shape in the sky above me. Wow, amazing. Dragons are real, I believe it. Freedom from the past. Yes. I remembered how to feel God again through the breath. I always thought good things happened to everyone but me. I was able to change my beliefs, give love, and allow myself to be loved. That is a miracle. I overcame my anxiety. I was truly homeless at the beginning of Aries season, and now my friend prepared a room for me in her fam's house, very much at peace. Thank you, Chloe. When I realized the unseen world is real and can become seen. Yes. Congratulations, everybody from Hayden, and throw my congratulations in with that. This is amazing. I've forgiven myself and my mother and reclaimed my right to receive and give love and believe in myself. Yes, brilliant. Thank you. Second that. I was told that I would be on a cane by the time I hit 30. I'm 43 and climbing mountains and bodybuilding. Boom! Sandra bringing it. That's amazing. That is a miracle for sure. To be conscious is a miracle. Feeling more expansion. Yes, we are becoming supernatural. That is truth. So in closing, this is a part of, welcome to the season of miracles. Yes, we're here. We're in Taurus season. Oh, and there's some more coming in. Okay, let me see. I'll read these two quickly. To finally experience genuine love spiritually and to give as well as receive love as two loving spiritual beings within the human experience. I love that. And since I started freeing myself from my illusionary chains, I have been swimming. That's outstanding. Living a life of miracles. And I truly believe we are living in a season of miracles or an age of miracles, that miracles are now starting to happen. And we can look in the world and you can see the chaos that's happening. And we can also see something remarkable taking place. And the reason for that is very much like the Aeon card of Patch Tarot. I don't have that card here on this slide, but you can imagine it like how the earth turns on its side and half of it is starting to become light and the other half is on fire. And so, I went on YouTube the other day and the only thing people were talking about was either the destruction of Ukraine or how Johnny Depp is on trial on this whole thing. And I look at it and I go, bless, it's all unfolding perfectly. That as the miracles roll in, the old chaos and destruction also has to happen. The 4 horsemen have been released of the apocalypse, if you will. And not to worry, it's perfect. It's by design, because humanity has to learn to feed itself. And this is part of the miracles of how it happens. By being in love, truth, and authenticity, we are protected, we are guided, we are healed, we are ascending, and we are able to bring that light to the world and become the new ascended masters that will guide this whole world into a new age of life. And that is the truth of the experience that is alive within me that I'm speaking to now. And I thank you for joining me in the embodying of this wonderful adventure. Julius, 4 horsemen, I will talk more about that in this Merkaba course. So what I wrote here, I just want to read it, share it with you briefly. In closing, welcome to a season of miracles. Remember, while things get crazy for others, the death of the old reality, new energy is flooding into the world. We must only be open to receiving it. That is, in fact, what the word Kabbalah actually means. Kabbalah translates to receive or how to receive, and also received teachings. So learning, but receiving, being able to receive all of the magic and might and beauty and grace and love of God, of Spirit, moving through all things, moving within us. And this is only the beginning. This Merkaba that we've just started doing today, it's just the first, 15 minutes. I'm going to create a full Merkaba activation course experience. It's alive within me, and I'm so called to just teach this in full. But first, the Hermetica will be published, and it's going to be published soon. And this was a thing that we did last year, actually, and we came on every week and we read the Hermetica, and then we talked about it and went through the deeper meaning of that book. And I've been doing some editing with it and making it really special, re-recording the primary readings themselves. And so this is coming soon, hopefully by the end of next week. That's what I'm aiming for. It was going to be this week, but I had to build some Merkaba explanation first. But it's underway, and that's all that you need to know and worry about. In fact, don't worry at all. It's happening. It's coming very soon. And it will be available for every initiate and mystic of Spirit Mysteries. And then the Merkaba course will come shortly thereafter, and it should begin here in Taurus season. And we'll probably do that as a weekly thing that we'll go along with. So with that brings us to the close of this sacred unfolding event today for our wonderful new age of miracles. So I want to say thank you. Oh, I have another surprise at the end. So don't log out just yet, but I'll just read this. I just want to say thank you first. Please follow the synchronicities in your life, the good omens, and trust in your personal legend. Connect and have faith in the soul of the world. You are the faith. It's your faith that makes all of this real. Your trust, your belief in yourself. And if there's only one thing I would say I need from you, is for you to believe in yourself. You do that, we're all so synced and aligned and golden. If you have trouble with that, just breathe deep a few times and say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. Do that breath that we did. So may you both be a miracle maker, and may miracles happen to you by the grace of God. Now, today I have a special surprise. I have a closing song that is a DNA activation upgrade song. And I want to invite you to receive it in the fullness of however you can. So if that's dancing, you just get on the camera and shake that moneymaker. And if it's just closing your eyes and just receiving and doing this breath or some nice, smooth, gentle breathing, that's just as perfect. And so this is where I bid you adieu. After this song, this call will close. Whoop. Mixing it up here. Gotta, get the music thing. But this will be where I bid you adieu. And I say, thank you. I love you. I honor you. I trust you. I value you. And may you have a most magical and miraculous weekend. Namaste, everybody. Much bless.
The light and love of divine healing floods into you now. Harmony and wholeness now becomes you. Restoring, recalibrating, and activating every cell within your being. You are who you came here to be. I welcome love. I welcome harmony. I welcome all of the beautiful things that are meant for me. I welcome light. Let it surround me. Grounded and rooted in the earth, we align with the highest frequency. And when the dark clouds come over me, it gets hard. Feels like I can't breathe. I rise higher than I've ever been. I look within and listen. You are supported. Taurus.